Hey Novanut, Silk here again, and this time we are going to be looking at how to relocate your base. As you can see here, things are getting a little bit tight for resources, so that in itself is enough of a reason to move, but there will be other reasons. You may be required to, for instance, just join the rest of your group in going over to take a pass, engaging another faction, in which case you want to have your base reasonably close to the front lines, but not too close. You don't want to get relocated yourself forcibly. Better to choose where you want to be. But right now I want to move to elsewhere, and we're going to have a quick look at kind of why we're doing this. First of all, to move anywhere we need to have range, and in order to get range to move somewhere, we build these outposts. We build the first outpost, we'll just go there. When we go there, we can see that we can do something called deploy. So I can now move a unit from my base to this outpost. I won't do that right now because it would be counterproductive and time consuming. So suffice to say, I have made a string of these outposts over the last day or two, and we are now working out of this outpost up here. The reason why I've sort of chosen to go up this way is that the only way out for my group from our start zone is through this path here into a contested region here, which we will undoubtedly contest with Terra, perhaps Vanguard at some point in time, depending on alliances we've made and where we want to go to in the future. But for now, I have moved one strike craft out to this outpost here, and it is currently sitting right at the outside range here. I've decided that's where I want to relocate. There's plenty of resource around, not too many of these blue dots. There might be some people in other guilds in our faction around here. It's not too much of a concern. The blue dots here represent all the other people in our guild. You'll have the same thing when you zoom in and out of the map to get to this stage. Now, really, we're probably going to want to take this control point here, maybe this path over here into this sort of safe zone around here and here. So I've chosen a point where I can kind of go fairly central. I've deliberately picked somewhere inside this pink zone because one of the requirements to relocate your base is that you are in as it is to a zone that you control. So let's just shift over there now. We'll see here I had to wait a little while. There was previously a patrol ship sitting on this tile, which was rather annoying, so had to wait till that has shifted. And you can see from this yellow line here that it's just inside the range from the outpost that you would have seen earlier. So we're going to attack that with my Omnis, and we're going to go into that one. Once I have actually taken this tile, these 7 tiles represent somewhere that I can relocate my main base to, and there will be a number of requirements for that. First up, what I'm going to do once we've taken this tile is recall this ship back to the outpost it came from. Then I will need to recall that back to my home base, because everybody's got to be at home if you want to change where you're going to move your base. So let's just do that, and we're actually going to just spend, for the purposes of this, spend a little bit of gold to speed that up. That's now back at the outpost. We'll send that home. Recall the ship. 38 minutes. That's going to cost me some. That's a bit annoying, but for the purposes of this video, let's go do it. We'll do that one. How long have we got? 8 minutes. 2 more 5s. Don't warn me again. Thank you very much. And one more. And that should be everybody home. So now we just need to go back to where that ship was. In order to find that, let's just zoom straight out. And we were somewhere up here. There we go. Let's go there. Now, before I just actually do this, one thing to note is that in your inventory under the miscellaneous tab, you will find 2 of these that everyone gets at the beginning of the season, or certainly season 1. This is a relocation token usable in the current season only. If you had tapped on that thinking that's going to teleport you somewhere just randomly, or in a place of your choosing on the map, no, you have to build those tiles up first. So we are now here, and we will go into that center tile there, and we want to build, and we want to relocate. Have we matched all the requirements? 7 1x1 cluster of tiles with no occupants. Yep. Requires everyone to be in the station. Yep. We're within the region requirements. If I just tap that, it must be in a controlled region, and we've got 2 location tokens, so now we can hit relocate. and then we can move that. And this is really important. You cannot relocate again within 72 hours of doing it. So plan ahead, work out your strategy, make sure that your alliance is not going to want you to be somewhere else in a day or two, and away we go. That is Relocation. This map hopefully has shown you the purposes of the outposts. To recap, you have to deploy a ship to one of these to take the tiles within the range. And we've learned how to relocate our base station. Hope that helps everyone. Thanks for watching.